I recently made a video on the list of brokers that I use personally, and the honest reason of having separate investment platforms is that each of them have different specialty. You see, the main selling point of various trading platforms nowadays is usually about the zero commissions and zero platform fees that most investors obsess with. But there's another fee that almost nobody talks about, and depending on how much you invest internationally, that may cost you significantly more than commissions ever did. We are talking about FX conversion fees. Every time you buy a US stock, a UK ETF, or a Hong Kong stock, your SGD gets converted into another currency, and most brokers charge around 0.5% on that conversion. It doesn't sound like a lot, but on $100,000 invested, that's $500 gone before your investment even starts working for you. Today, I want to talk about one of the brokers that I personally use, and that is IG Markets, to share about their current promotion that removes almost all of this fee entirely. And the good news is, IG Markets saw and liked my previous broker review video, so they engaged me for this paid partnership video. But as most of you know, I want to give you my honest take as someone who has actually used the platform for a few months, including what I think they still need to improve. And hi, if you're new here, my name is Chris, an ex-chartered accountant, now a personal finance YouTuber, and I share a lot about financial insights, especially on my Instagram as well. So do follow me, I only have 4,000 followers there. So let's talk about who is IG Markets regarding the safety and the regulation. And before I get into the features, I think let's address it. Because for IG Markets, regarding the safety and regulation, you want to know what IG does with your money and whether the company will still be around 10 years. IG Singapore's company, IG Asia Private Limited, is regulated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, with the Capital Market Services License and exempt financial advisor. IG Singapore's parent, IG Group, is a global leader in online trading and is listed on the London Stock Exchange. They have been operating since 1974, and that's over 50 years. This is an established, publicly listed financial services company with decades of track record. And for those who are concerned with what IG do with your money, here is a quick snapshot of the essentials. In short, your funds are held in segregated trust accounts, kept separate from IG's money and ring-fenced from creditors. Let's talk about my investment with IG Markets, because my overall investing setup is a split across a few platforms depending on what I'm trying to do. I have a main brokerage that handles my core global ETFs and US individual stocks. So CPF serves as my bond equivalent, and IG Markets is where I hold my Singapore market exposure. Each platform has a specific role, and that's how I think most serious investors should approach it. So I actually use IG Markets myself. Both my wife and I have separate accounts here. I use mine mainly for Singapore equities with the STI ETF, and my wife has her own account with the same setup. Now, these are my actual order confirmations to prove my real positions on this platform, and it's truly one of the lowest cost, if not the lowest cost broker. And my main motivation back then was for the 3% interest on the first 50,000 Singapore dollars of portfolio held on IG Markets. So I just lump sum up to 50,000 Singapore dollars to earn 3% interest on shares, and that will give you up to 1,500 Singapore dollars per year. This is on top of any potential capital gains or dividend that you receive, so it is really passive income. And the fact about SGX investing is that there are exchange fees charged by SGX, clearing fees, access fees. They are small individually, but they add up over time, especially if you are investing regularly. With IG Markets, they pass them on without any markup. All applicable fees are transparently displayed before you confirm your trade. So here is an actual transaction of my buy order, where you can really see the zero fees. Now on to the promotion that prompted this video, because for a limited time, IG Markets is running a 0% FX conversion markup fees on international share trading. Combined with zero commission and zero platform fees, the total cost of investing internationally has basically dropped to almost zero for this promotional period. So let me put some savings in concrete numbers. With every $100,000 invested, saving 0.5% FX spread, that's roughly 500 Singapore dollars. The larger and more frequent your investments, the more material this becomes. And this is on top of whatever you are already paying in commissions elsewhere. Now, there are certain advantages of zero fees, like for buy and sell positions or to reallocate your portfolio without the friction of the FX markup. This will help you make more decisive investment or trading decisions. You've also got access to US, UK, Hong Kong, and Japan markets from one account. US is obvious, but I just want to highlight the UK market specifically. because not all brokers offer this. And for ETF investors, this is actually significant. I'll explain more. This is the part of the video I think is most important to many of you, and my genuine view of where IG fits in a portfolio and where it currently falls short. So here's what I think IG does well for serious investors. The UK market access is genuinely useful if you are into UCITS ETFs, which are domiciled in either Ireland or Luxembourg. So there are specific reasons why some investors prefer them, particularly around dividend withholding tax, and because they can be a lot more tax efficient than US domiciled funds, including on estate tax, which matters more than people realize. So if you want access to index funds like CSP1 for S&P 500 or VWRP for FTSE All World Index as the Ireland domiciled UCITS ETF listed on the London Stock Exchange, IG Markets gives you that. And the truth is, not many Singapore brokers do. But here's my honest criticism and what I hope they improve, because right now, the LSE ETFs available on IG are all Great Britain pounds denominated. So if you're looking for VWRA, the USD denominated version of the All World ETF, you cannot get it on IG. You will need to go with VWRP, which is the Great British Pounds price equivalent of the same fund, similar for CSPX versus CSP1 for S&P 500 exposure. Now, this is accurate as of the recording date, but it may change in the future. Now, for some investors, the Great British Pounds denomination creates hesitation because of the currency conversion cost. But here's the thing, with the 0% FX fee promo, that concern largely goes away. But to be fair, I sincerely hope IG adds USD denominated LSE tickers like CSPX and VWRA in the future. That will make this a very strong platform for UCITS ETF investors. But right now, the 0% FX promotion partially compensates for the gap. Also, I'd like to suggest an option for idle cash to earn some returns in the default money market fund. And that will be good for people who prefer to keep some cash as dry powder on the platform, similar to what a lot of other brokers are doing. And this is the kind of honest take I want to give you. There are things that I would really want to be improved, but the 0% FX fees promotion addresses one of them directly. So I want to be very clear that this is not financial advice, but in my opinion, as a current user, here's why IG Markets may make sense for those who are already investing in US, UK, or other international markets, and you are paying FX conversion fees that you haven't really quantified. Or you want a Singapore and international market access from a single account. Or you are interested in UK-listed ETFs, particularly UCITS funds, and want a regulated Singapore-based way to access them. Or you are investing $50,000 or more internationally. That's where the FX savings are more material. But this is probably not the right fit if you are a complete beginner who hasn't made any investments yet, or if you're purely doing CPF or SRS-based investing. There are more appropriate starting points for those situations. So I also like to share about the welcome rewards and how to qualify, because for new clients, there is up to 258 Singapore dollars in welcome rewards. And here's exactly how to qualify. Firstly, apply and open an account via my link right here, this link, and fund your account with a minimum of 500 Singapore dollars in one transaction. Then maintain your balance for 30 days. Ensure your net deposits do not go below $500 and just make one eligible trade within the campaign period. On top of that, remember that while you're invested, you can earn up to 3% per annum of interest on eligible shares and ETFs on your first 15,000 Singapore dollars of shareholdings, as long as you make one trade per month. So your money is not sitting idle while you hold. Look, I'm not saying that you should move everything into IG Markets, because that's not how I invest, and that's not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm saying is, if you're already investing internationally, and if you have never sat down to calculate what you're paying in FX conversion fees each year, this is worth doing the math on, because it's probably more than you think. A MAS-regulated FTSE 100 listed parent company with clients' money held in segregated accounts, the fundamentals on safety are solid. Now, the sign-up link is in the description, and if you're a new client, the welcome rewards are a nice kicker on top of the fee savings. If this video was helpful to you, you know what to do. Just like, share, subscribe, and yeah, if you are curious about my previous broker review where I compared multiple brokers and trading platforms on their pros and cons on what I use, then you can refer to this video right here.